Hottest day ever, hottest August day ever in Phoenix, right? 118.
118.
So 117 for tomorrow, maybe 118.
We are just baking under these extreme temperatures. Our warning goes all the way until 8 p.m. on Friday here in the Valley.
We're going to hit high today, close to 117, folks.
That 118 today, that makes it the hottest day that we've ever had in the month of August.
What's up, everyone? Shane here with ROA Off-Road. I'm down at the ROA Experience Center in Mesa, Arizona. We're gonna be doing some crazy heat tests on some trailers. So we're gonna test the air conditioning units. Check it out. Good news is it's supposed to be the hottest day of the year. So let's get into this. We've been told we should not be out in the temperature too long, but today's temperatures is supposed to get up to 116 degrees. You can see this. This is reading at just under 114 degrees Fahrenheit. It is crazy hot. I have a heat gun right here. If I hit the ground right here, this is concrete. You can see we're at 147 degrees on the pavement. So we are going to be doing a heat test today. We have a Pause Reboot, and it is a 19.4. We're gonna go and measure the inside-outside temperatures of the trailer. We're gonna drop one of these temperature sensors inside and outside of the trailer, and we're gonna crank on the AC completely off-grid. Now, for those who don't realize, most air conditioners are only designed to reduce the temperature from the ambient to the outside 20 to 30 degrees, and that's the truth. So if it's 115 degrees, technically, we should see the trailer get to hopefully 85 degrees. Now, I know this is because we're actually down in Arizona, and inside the dealership, they got the ACs cranking and they're 80 degrees. So people in these hotter climates, they don't expect to get the temperatures into the 60s and 70 degrees, especially during the day. But we're gonna go on, we're gonna turn on these AC units, see how long it takes to cool down, see if they even can cool down. We used to have another trailer manufacturer that we carried, that when we would turn on the AC unit, it would overwork itself so much that the AC unit would freeze up and it would turn off and stop working. It couldn't actually bring the temp down. So we might see a failure like that today, hopefully not. We are working with a much better components, the Trumas. So let's jump in that 19.4 and see how it goes. So generally, if you are in crazy hot temperatures, you're gonna wanna turn the AC on the night before or early in the morning so it's not overworking itself. Because you gotta understand that heat, it's gonna take a while for the heat to penetrate through the body. So the heat is gonna hit the exterior and it's gonna work its way into the trailer. And so when you turn on the air conditioner, it's gonna try to now cool off the inside and permeate the walls to the outside. So essentially what you're doing is you're fighting, right? You're trying to put cold air in and cool off the walls inside. The first is the ambient temperature and then the walls, but you also have the heat coming in and trying to get in. So I'm gonna take this heat gun. When I talk out at this hot temperature, it hurts my throat pretty quickly. So I'm gonna hit the outside temperature. You can see the exterior wall is 123. So, and we're in the shade right now. If I go onto this metal right here in the shade, we got 125 degrees. Now I'm hitting the concrete, the asphalt, in the shade at 134 degrees. Come over here and we'll hit the pavement in the sun, 163 degrees. That's crazy hot. It's just hot all the way around. So let's head on inside. I'm going to close the blinds when we get inside because I don't want the sun coming through the windows. I'm gonna crank on the AC unit and we'll see what happens. It's gonna be hot. And now I'm gonna hit the inside and it looks like we're seeing about 125 degrees. So it's hotter on the inside of the unit right now because it's just been sitting in here getting baked. Now I'm gonna go to the roof and we're seeing 127 degrees. So it's hot. I'm like starting to feel it. It's starting to heat up. Okay, so I am going to take this thermostat. This one is gonna be the outside one and this is gonna be the inside one. I'm gonna drop it right there. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna then shut all the blinds so we can at least hopefully avoid some of the sun from coming inside. And then I'm going to crank on the AC. Another thing that I'm going to do, and this is gonna be a hack for you, because it's not in the morning and the temperature inside here is just baking, I'm gonna actually remove this seat cushion because I'm assuming that underneath this area, if you come look at this, this is going to be your inverter system. And the second we turn on the AC unit, this thing is gonna start heating up. And it's already 128 degrees in there. So I'm gonna turn on the AC and I'm gonna try to cool this area off, because if we turn it on and it starts heating up to cool the AC down and it's already 130 degrees in there, it's just gonna get hotter. So I'm gonna try to cool this area down. There are fans and vents down here, but it's not gonna be quite enough to keep it nice and cool in here. So let's shut some windows and get the AC going. Okay, so here we have the Garmin set up now. I do wanna point out we have the inside ambient temperature. Says it's 116 degrees. Now we're gonna fire on the air conditioning system right here. So I'm gonna turn it on to AC and I'm going to go to high so we get the fastest, coldest temperature. The inside temperature says it's 122 degrees. This one right here says 116.9, 117 degrees. So they're pretty close. We're gonna go back inside the building because I feel like I'm gonna die if I stay out here much longer. And we'll check back in about an hour or so. Okay, so it's been a little bit of time, maybe 30 minutes, so not a long time. I said I would check back in an hour. I came in, it does feel like it's a little bit cooler. Not really. It says it's 115 degrees on this. This was at 122 and now it says 117. Right before leaving, I left it at 75, but I dropped it right to 70, but that was like within 30 seconds of turning off the camera. I'm gonna actually drop this down to 65 just to see if it tries to kick that AC unit down faster. Now, the reason why I didn't originally do that, because in the past, from my experience of that AC unit, that would freeze over. Sometimes when you turn it on to the coldest setting, it overworks it right off the bat, and then that's how it will actually freeze. So I kind of wanted to like slowly work our way down, but it's still so hot in here, and I don't feel like the temperature is much colder. So I'm just gonna try something different. We'll see how this works out. This is just a fun test. We're down here, we're in Arizona, we're hanging out with the guys, and we thought it would be fun to see what these AC units can do. In the hottest day of the month, may I mention, it is the hottest day of the year. So let's check back in a little bit. Okay, it's been roughly an hour. We're trying to stay out of the heat. This is weird for me. In Utah, you stay out of the cold. But we're gonna just check this. So the outside in the shade, we're still reading about 122.8 degrees. So I think it hasn't really changed the outside temperature in the, oh, that's 161. It seemed like it was less than that last time I checked. So it's hot. So let's head on inside, see what's going on. So welcome inside, and this is great. Check it out. We got 99 degrees. So it has dropped in temperature quite a bit. This is, it's 120 degrees on the outside of this wall, 124 degrees, 23 degrees. So I'm gonna hit the wall right now, see what type of temperatures we're reading. So on the wall right now, we are reading 107 degrees. So it's gonna take some time. I'm gonna hit the roof really quick. The roof is reading 109. Now I'm gonna go down into this inverter area because we hit that before, and we're reading 116. That's not so bad. So overall, we've dropped temp across the board, and going from outside to in here, this is, it's 99 degrees. It surprisingly feels comfortable. Definitely not the temperature that I want to get to in Arizona. Now, something that I've noticed, when I've used the Dometic AC units in the past, you would turn it on cold, and I think it just had on and off mode, and it would just overwork itself and it would freeze. And then there would be it wouldn't blow out any warm air at all. So you'd have to turn it off, wait an hour or two to let it thaw out. I have noticed the compressor kicking on and off, and I think the Truma is just a much smarter AC unit. So it realizes, hey, I'm overworking myself. I got to turn off, and then it blows warm air for a little bit, and then it kicks back on and starts blowing cold again. I feel pretty good about this overall. I feel like we're dropping temperature. If we can get below 90 into the 80s, I think it will be a huge win. So let's check back in maybe another hour or so. I'll set a timer for an hour. Okay, we just hit the concrete. 150 degrees. It is hot. Just check the thermostat on the outside. It says it's 117 degrees. It's insane. It really is. We're still at 121 degrees on the exterior. Let's head inside and check it out. It's beautiful. Check this out. 93 degrees. So we're going on a few hours, starting in the heat of day at 117 degrees outside. This is pretty good. This is roughly 25 degrees drop. And I said 20 to 30 degree difference from the outside to the inside is probably acceptable. I'm feeling pretty good about this. We got cold air blowing in on us. Let's check the walls, see what we're getting. We're hitting about 100 degrees right now. So what did we have? About 122, 121 out there. So we got a 21 degree difference from outside to inside. Let's hit the roof. 99 degrees, there we go. 100 degrees on the counters. Now, I think something really important is, this thing has been here for days without the air conditioner on, just baking, and it's just absorbing all that heat. So we're gonna just have to keep on running the cold air until all that heat dissipates out of the cabinets, the wood, everything to the touch. It's similar, the way I think about it is if you put something in a freezer, it freezes everything, right? And if you turn your freezer off, it's gonna stay cold in that freezer for a while because everything in it is frozen. It's gonna take a long time for it to thaw out and then start getting warmer. So you gotta think about heat, like things absorb heat, hot and cold, and it's gonna take a lot longer to cool it down. And because everything in here is like 100 degrees, you're not just trying to cool the air temperature down, you're trying to cool even the cabinetry, everything. You're trying to get that heat out of it. Come down into this space right here. Oh, that's really good. That's 107 degrees. So I think the normal running temperature of this inverter is probably hotter than that. So the fact that it's actually pretty cool is nice. If I was camping in here, I probably would feel comfortable throwing that, back on and putting the cushion down and sitting down. It's coming close to the end of the day. So we're probably gonna let this run for a little bit longer, and then we'll check it out and see where it ends by the end of the day, running after just a few hours. Another thing too is I think I'm gonna do a follow-up video of this video, and we're gonna do beat the heat. My freaking dying out here. Okay, let's go. We're calling this test beat the heat, and we're doing it the way you should do it. And as you can see, the outside ambient air temperature is 113 degrees, 118 degrees. Let's head on inside and see how things are looking. Holy, it's cold. Stay tuned for that. We'll see you in a bit. We'll check back in a bit. Okay, we're back here to check on it again. We just checked the outside temperature. It's just under 117 degrees. That's crazy actually saying out loud. It just barely popped down into 116. So it's still hot. We're actually gonna head over to dinner and come back in maybe an hour or two. So we'll be a little bit darker, so it might get cooler, and we might see the trailer get cooler as well. But let's go check it out right now. It's still extremely hot outside. 91 degrees. I'm just telling you, coming from 116 to 117 degrees outside to 91 degrees inside feels pretty good. This is blowing nice and cold. I really ideally want to get this closer to 80. We've been inside the actual building all day and it's around 80 degrees inside and it's actually comfortable. You get used to it. I know like in northern part of the United States, like in Utah, I'm going to set my house to 70 to 74 degrees. So 80 might feel hot, but when it's 117 degrees outside, 80 feels pretty good. And we've been comfortably working in there. So hopefully we can get this down to 80 degrees when it's still close to 100, above 115 degrees. That would be cool. It seems like it's continually dropping and it hasn't really dropped outside. So we'll see you back in a bit and let's see if we can get into the 80s. Okay, so we just got back from dinner. We wanted to come and check on the unit again. It's almost 8 p.m. Now, if you don't think it's hot out here, even after the sun sets, I just hit the concrete. It's still 120 degrees on the concrete. The actual outside thermometer says it's 110 degrees. I'm gonna hit the trailer and then we're gonna go inside and see what's going on. So trailers, 106 degrees. Let's go inside and see what we got. Okay, here we are inside. It is 80 degrees. This is fantastic. In the shop today, I saw 80 to 83 degrees on the thermostats in there. So it feels really nice in here. Hit, the wood here. You can see the wood is 85. Let's hit the wall. So we just hit the wall outside. It was over 100 degrees, 87 degrees in here. You're starting to get nice temperatures, 86. The roof is 86 degrees. So now one of the things I want to point out, and I just barely got back on a trip where we were in a camper for 3 weeks. And this is one of the things you might not notice in your house versus a camper is in your house, the vents are kind of going around the whole house, creating the ambient air temperature. These do blow like right on you. So like this temperature, the air on like this unit right here, you are getting 74 degrees out of the vent here, right? And it's actually blowing and hitting on you. So a lot of people think, oh, I want the whole entire ambient air to get down to 70 degrees. But because this is blowing on you, it does actually cool you off more. Just like sitting in your car, if that cold air is hitting you, you don't actually always need to get it down as cold as you would think in a camper. But regardless, we're talking 110 degrees. And I think I mentioned that you can't really expect more than 30 degrees. Most air conditioners are not designed to go more than 20 to 30 degrees. So that is a massive win, 110 degrees. We started this test at the heat of the day, almost 117 degrees. We saw 120 degrees outside today. And we've been able to run completely off grid all day long. The battery is getting pretty low actually. And the main reason is because the AC's just been cranking all day. We're at 30%. So yeah, and we started about 100%. We had 1,080 amps of battery. And if you're gonna be running an air conditioner non-stop all day long, it's 7 hours and we're at 30%. So we probably have about 10 hours total. Now, this is the thing to think about too, is I would pre-cool this. It's the same thing, same concept of a refrigerator. People don't realize you put a bunch of warm food in a refrigerator, you turn it on, it's gonna take forever to cool. It will take a couple days. So generally you wanna put stuff that's already chilled, right? Put stuff in your fridge at your home. You turn on the fridge the day before so it gets cold, and then you transfer cold food into a cold refrigerator, and then the refrigerator is not gonna work as hard to cool it down. It's very similar to the AC unit, right? When you're talking 100 to 120 degrees, the wood, all the material in here is really hot. You're trying to cool the air and everything in the trailer. But if you pre-cool it the day before, you turn on the air conditioner all night, it's gonna cool down. This unit is gonna turn on and off. It's gonna cycle on and off. And if it were to cycle 50% of the time, you potentially can increase your battery 50% more time, run time. So that's something to think about. a lot of people always wonder, like, how long can I run this or run that? It's really hard because you're not necessarily going to go and fire up your AC unit unplugged in 120 degrees, but you could potentially do that. And by the time it gets night, the trailer would be nice and cool. And I also wouldn't recommend doing this completely off a grid without a generator, you know, because you would want that as a backup power source. Also at ROA, we do Anderson plugs, so we could hook up your truck to be able to run, and that will charge more power. That will put more power into the batteries. But hopefully you guys have liked this video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. We're going to do another test, and it's going to be, you know, getting ahead, beating the heat, which means pre-cool it and show how it will run through another hot day here in Arizona. Stay tuned for that. Also, if you want to learn more about these trailers, if you want to see some walkthroughs, we have a new YouTube channel. Go down below. You can click it. It's ROA Inventory. That's going to be all of our sales coaches across the country. We are releasing a video every single week. Arizona, Utah, Colorado, South Carolina. You'll be able to get to know some of the guys, and you'll be able to see units that are on the ground. So if you do really want to geek out and see more trailers and get a lot of tours, go down to ROA Inventory and subscribe to that channel, and you'll be able to see Mike and Justin here in Arizona doing some walkarounds. Stay tuned on this channel. We're always throwing out fun, educational. This channel is more designed for educational information. That channel is going to be more tours. So thanks for watching and have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.